you a business owner who desperately wants to grow your business and increase your revenue, but you're having a hard time making that happen? Is the comfort of where your business is at right now more tempting than the hard work it will take to get to the next level of growth and impact? That's why today we're talking about the harsh reality of growing a business, why success is hard to come by. Welcome to the HaltingWinter Podcast. I'm your host, Seth Winterhalter. Would you take a moment, if you're listening, if you're watching today via our YouTube channel, would you subscribe to the podcast in order to keep these episodes coming and allow others to hear, allow others to enjoy the insights that you're receiving today? Would you leave a like, leave a comment, give a 5-star review, and let's keep growing. Let's keep these going forward and impacting people so that we can all take our businesses higher, farther, and faster than ever before. I want to dive into our topic today. What are the hard truths we need to hear and we need to then respond to in order to grow our businesses, in order to increase our revenues and increase our impact? Remember, that's what we're doing. We're trying to impact the world to become a better place. And so I want to encourage you, no matter what your product or your service is, I want you to be able to see how that makes the world better, right? I remember talking a few years ago, someone ended up working for an Amazon warehouse and, packing up boxes and just doing, warehouse work. And they came to me and they said, man, I just feel like I'm kind of doing a dead end job. I feel like I don't have much purpose in my life. And because I think they heard me talking about purpose and work and they were just kind of, again, complaining about the reality of kind of a mundane job. And I said, hey, I get it. I get that warehouse work probably isn't the most inspiring, motivating work. But I want you to think about something. I go, we're in my office, right? And it wasn't this office at the time. It was a different office. And in the office, again, I have a love for books. Again, this isn't actually my office. I'm in a friend's office. And so, again, if you look at the books on the shelf, most of them are not mine. So don't take those as this is what I read. There we go. There's my disclaimer. I have a few books up that I've read. In this office, I think there were, probably 10 to 12 bookshelves filled with books, probably 3,000 books. And so I said, hey, I want you to look around my office. And I go, what do you see? And he goes, I see books. Yeah, he goes, you love books. And I go, yes, they're my children. I go, yes, I love books. I love to read. I love to think. I love to learn new ideas. I love to chew on things and see things from different angles. And I've just been blessed by authors who have written and make me think, who challenge me. And I said, here's the thing. Those books had to get to me. I go, I didn't go to a store. I predominantly use Amazon to send me books because when I hear about a book, think about a book, I want to get it as soon as possible and dive in. I'm often reading a lot of books at one time. And I go, I don't know if you specifically packed my books, but someone did. Someone took the time to fill out that order and get those books to me. And these books have helped me learn and grow and use various truths and ideas to impact thousands of people's lives over the 25 years plus now of my vocational life, professional vocation life. I have had the pleasure and privilege of impacting thousands of people. And that happened because other people were a part of that. And I go, it's not just my mentors. It's not just my teachers. It's not just coworkers and people that inspired me and taught me. It's people like you who do what you think is a mundane job. You just pack things into boxes and right, the machines send them to the trucks and the trucks deliver them. I go, but you are a part of that. And so I want you to be encouraged that even if you have to have a mundane job sometimes, a job that doesn't maybe fulfill you in a real tangible way, you were a part of the impact that I was able to deliver. So thank you. Thank you for being a part of that. And so I went on this big tangent right now, but I just want to encourage you. That's a way to not only think about yourself, if you're in a line where you're like, maybe you're a a manufacturer of some little tiny part for some other thing. But think about, how is that thing being used, right? I talked to a manufacturer the other day, business owner of a company that builds parts for planes. And you can think, well, we're just a manufacturer. We're just doing this one little part. That's right. And that plane is allowing business people to travel, to close more deals, to serve more people. It's allowing families to go on vacations and experience rest and refreshment. It's connecting people. It's allowing people to go fly to weddings and funerals and experience joy and work through grief. Like, there's all kinds of things that we're a part of that we've got to do some thread work to make sure we understand that we're all a part of the tapestry. So I just say that today just to encourage us and hopefully to remind us that things are going on that we might not be aware. And so that was a big soapbox, but I hope that helps someone today just be encouraged. And remember, the reason we said that is we need to hear some hard truths today. We need to respond in order to grow our business. And a lot of that comes to our mindset. A lot of that is that we're stuck in some ways that aren't healthy, like that warehouse worker who was stuck in a very negative mindset. He needed a transformation to turn something mundane into something positive and life-giving. And that doesn't mean that was, I know, because that person is now they're a manager of a large store, that was just a part of the journey. And so this could be a part of your journey. And if you just stay where you're at, you're not going to grow personally. And if you can't grow personally, it's going to be real hard then to grow your business. So let's talk about today some truths, 3 truths that we need to hear, I think, in order to put us in a posture, in a mental framework to be able to grow our business. Truth number 1, your business is your baby. If you started your business, you birthed a baby. Maybe not a real baby, but it is a baby. I mean, we have a deep emotional connection to our businesses and to every one of its parts. Think about it, like the logo, the tagline, the website, its colors, its words, its pictures. It tells our story. And this is the issue I find with most marketing from a business. It's so wrapped up into us that it's really not about our customer. It's more about, well, this is who I am, and see how great I am, and see how great it would be to work with me because I am a real person and I really exist and I want to care for you because I'm a good person. And it's really, we're so attached to it, it really hinders, I think, our effectiveness. We talk too much about ourselves then, and we got to get out of that way. The way we advertise, our systems, our processes, our knowledge. I work, probably the number one thing I run into as I serve clients through business coaching is what I call the curse of knowledge. If you own your business or you're a high-level leader at your business, you know the ins and outs, not only of the business, not only of the products and services, but you know the ins and outs of your customer. You know what actually their deep problems are. I used to work in, and I still serve clients in the health and wellness area. And in health and wellness, right, you're targeting people who want to lose weight. And you know what message works? The message that works is lose weight and keep drinking your beer and keep eating your pizza, or lose weight and keep eating your chocolate and drinking your wine. That message works because we want to lose weight, but we don't want to give up our comforts and conveniences. You know what message doesn't work? Lose weight by tackling the mindset that is hindering your progress. Lose weight by healing your relationship with food. Lose weight by actually learning how to eat well and how to train well and how to live a life that is vibrant. And you would think that would sell, but it doesn't, because it sounds like work, because we don't want to admit that we have a mindset issue. We just want you to take away my pounds, right? This is why liposuction is so popular, because I can still eat whatever I want. I just go in and you do the work and then I leave and things are better. This is crazy. That's why it's also crazy expensive, because, right, it's a simple solution. But we've got to be careful of the curse of knowledge, because we know, right, for health and wellness customers that we got to do a ton of mindset work, but they don't want to hear that. They want easy solutions. They want They want their problem, which is I still want to eat what I want, but I still want to lose weight. Okay. Well, I'm not lying to say that you can still eat pizza and drink beer. It's just not going to be all the time. You can still have that. It's just going to be scarce. It's going to be limited. It's going to be, but if that gets you in the door to say, hey, we can still work with that, but let's also do what you really need to do. Right. So it's this fine line of where, you don't want to manipulate, you don't want to bait and switch, but you also have to be honest with yourself about getting the customer's attention. And sometimes when we're so emotionally attached, it's a hard time getting out of the way and really speaking what our customer needs to hear instead of telling them about us, right? Making it like a resume. So here's the other thing. What you did to start your business, I see this with a lot of transitions when it goes from first gen to second gen of leaders, whether they're family or not. What you see is that first gen has a hard time giving up the reins to change and move that business into the next generation. Oftentimes that is with branding. The branding usually of a first generation business is usually pretty poor. Because we didn't have the money. We didn't have money to invest in good logo and to good branding and to good design. We just kind of threw things together. And it worked because, we were not in, a lot of these businesses that were started, we're not in a media-rich environment like we are now. Number two, it worked because our whatever we were good at, maybe sales or the product, we hit a niche, we hit a market that moved us forward, so we could get away with poor marketing, with poor strategy, just because of the avenue that we were in. But here's the thing, maybe that's why the business isn't growing. Maybe that's why the business is because that's dried up a little bit. There's more competition and we have to think better. We have to get rid of our emotional attachment to the things that make it feel like, well, this is the business and we have to really move forward into tomorrow. So here's the harder truth. Just because it worked for you yesterday does not mean it's going to work today. And most likely it's not going to work tomorrow. The harder truth is, if you don't change, if you don't adapt, if you don't keep moving forward, the only way your business is going to go is to an early grave, right? It's not going to get to the next level. So we've got to the first hard truth is your business is your baby. You have a great emotional attachment to it if you have been the instigator in building this business from the foundation up. And so you've got to really release emotional attachment. You have to do some work to go, okay, I gotta take. Remember, business is a game, right? It's not your baby. It's a game to be played, and that doesn't mean, right? Words are words, so it's not it's a game, meaning like at the end of the day, right? It's you're investing your money, you're investing your time, and someone else is going to do something with that, right? You don't get to live forever. You don't get to, that business is just a thing. So just remember, it's not a real baby. Like your business will most likely die. And, hey, we hope not. We hope it continues to thrive. But one of the reasons it probably won't is because we're too emotionally attached. So we can't make good decisions. We can't let go of some things that we have attachment to that actually are hindering our growth. Okay. Soapbox. Number two, here's the second truth. We don't like change. So once we can get over the emotional attachment, then we got to deal with change. And this is 2 and 3. Number 2, though, we don't like change. Why not? Because we love comfort. Whatever is comfortable is going to make it hard to change. The way we do things is like a baby blanket. Well, this is the way we have meetings, and this is the way we do marketing, and this is the way we do sales. It's warm, it's cozy, it's filled with memories and nostalgia. Change makes us uncomfortable. Change takes away. I was a part of a $25 million organization that we had to make some radical changes because it was run like $1 million less. It was actually run. I've seen $250,000 a year businesses run better than this $25 million business. It just was not run well. And it was because, like I had just said earlier, it just hit a niche. It just had so much movement inside of its customer reviews and raves that it made up for a lot of back-end organizational structure. But it was a hot mess. And what happened is then people came in and started righting the ship and started making the back end, the internal organization healthy. And when they did that, it brought so much change. It ended up making it, right, we actually had to have budgets, and we had to, not everyone could just buy whatever they wanted. And all of a sudden, some of the perks of, right, buying whatever equipment you wanted and going out to lunch and charging it all the time, all of a sudden these things started to dry up, and people got upset because our comforts were taken away, and work we had to do expense reports, and things started to happen that made it uncomfortable. And here's the thing, that's where you've got to be careful when you're growing a business, is that some people, you have to look and say, who are my people who are just prone to comfort? And again, that's not bad. That's most people. Some people, though, need to be walked through that, and they need to see how it's better for the business. And you need to do that as a leader. You need to walk with your people and have clear communication, not just demand that they change, but tell them why. Because some people are prone, just in their personality, to be more hesitant to change because they're afraid of risk. And that's a good thing. We need people that are afraid of risk, so they keep those of us who are risk takers in check, so we just don't go crazy. But there are some people who just want to be comfortable. There are some people who just crave comfort above all else, and they will hinder your business. And those are the people that might have got you to where you are today, but they're not the people that are going to take you to where you need to be tomorrow. And now you got to make a decision to make. Do you want to grow, or do you want to keep your little party going? And I know a lot of businesses that don't want to deal with that kind of confrontation. A lot of owners don't want to have hard conversations with people they have a relationship with. And so they allow other people to hinder their growth, hinder their impact. And again, I can't make that decision for you. You have to make that decision. You have to start thinking like a business owner and not like, someone who's in their man cave just having a little party. Like, that's a hobby. It's not a business, even if it makes money. So be careful, right? When you're overweight, you need to go to the gym. That's uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable putting on clothes and going out in public when you don't look good. It's going to be uncomfortable lifting and running and doing the things that, right, are uncomfortable because it's uncomfortable for your body. It's uncomfortable for your image. But guess what? That's going to get you the results that you want. And so you got to start thinking about the results you want, and you have to create a white hot burning passion to make that a reality. Changes, the right changes, bring us results. So, number one, our business is our baby. We got to get rid of that emotional attachment. Number two, we don't like change. We love comfort. So deal with that comfort. Be good with uncomfortability. Be good, have a desire to get uncomfortable, so that you can transform into the next iteration of who you need to be to get to the next level. Number three, final thing. Not only do we not like change, we're afraid of change. Hard truth number three is we're afraid of change because all of a sudden the what ifs. What if it doesn't work? What if it costs too much? What if? We're afraid of the unknown. So because we're afraid of what we don't know, 'cause humans love control. We love to be in control. So the more comfortable we feel, again, back to comforts, the more in control we feel, the easier it will be to step forward and to walk out into that risk, whatever that is. But here's the thing. If you really want to grow, if you really want to increase, you have to be okay of risk. You have to be okay of taking some big strides, not just baby steps. You need to be okay. So admit that we're going to all be afraid of the unknown. We're going to be afraid of risk. That's human nature. But think about this. You had the confidence to start your business. How can you instill the confidence to grow? And I believe the number one thing you can do is do some personal work. And there's mindset work, yes, but there's also just skill work. There's hard skill work. Where are you weak? Where do you need to grow? Who do you need to bring onto your team that is strong? That you can say, you know what, I'm not the strongest, and there's always the fine line as your business grows to go, what do I need to know as the owner or as the chief executive officer, as the leader of this organization? What do I need to know, or who can I bring in that's a master, right? As your business grows, like as my business grows, I want to eventually be the dumbest person in the room. And by that, I mean, like, I want a chief marketing officer who knows marketing 10 times better than I do. I want a chief financial officer who knows finance and numbers 10 times better than I do. I want all these different people around me so that I can do what I'm best at, and that is cast a compelling vision, whittle that down into an annual mission, and drive momentum towards that goal, right? That's what I do. That's what I was born to do. That's what I have been trained to do over my life. And that's what I know, right? I'd live and breathe that. You want me to cast a compelling vision? I'll do it in seconds. You want me to whittle all the information down of where we're going into a tight mission with 3 objectives that will drive us towards that destination? I can do it. Born to do it. My mind works that way. So I'm going to stay in my lane and bring people around me. Now, as you grow, you might have to do that. You might have to, right? When you start a business, oftentimes you have to do all those things. So you have to know enough to be able to move the business forward. You don't need to know more though. I don't need to become a czar at marketing. I have to know enough to be able to market well, to bring in customers into the sales funnel to be able to close. I have to know sales enough to be able to close sales so that I can serve customers. I have to serve the customers. I have to know my program and know my deliverables enough to create raving reviews so that word of mouth spreads and I get more customers. I don't need to waste more time to become better than what I need to be. And I think that's something business owners need to hear too. Don't waste time becoming the perfection of something. You have to be a bit of a generalist when you start, and you'll have proclivities towards specific areas of your business, but be careful there because you can spend a lot of time then getting in the weeds of something that's actually not taking the business forward. You're fine enough in that area. Get better at that weak area so that you can move it forward. Right? And as your business is moving forward, I want to know, and this is where it's unique. Every business is unique because every business owner is unique. You need to know your strengths and your weaknesses and start to bring on people into the team to shore up your weaknesses so you don't have leaks in your ship, right? Your business is your baby. You don't like change. You want it to be comfortable. So you got to push against change, and then you're going to be afraid of change. You're going to be afraid of bringing someone in because what if they mess things up? Guess what? Nothing grows without risk. You can either be comfortable or you can actually grow. Comfort is not about growing. Growing has pains, right? It's called growing pains. You've got to be okay with uncomfortability. You have to be okay with taking risks. Now, I'm not asking you to be crazy daredevil. I'm asking you to make calculated risks. I'm asking you to do the work of metrics and statistics and analysis so that you have an idea, a good solid idea of where you're going and what's going to produce fruit. And so, anyway, there are some truths, right? Perhaps you need help. Perhaps you say, man, I'm a mess. I am so emotionally attached to my business that I can't handle any change. It's comfortable to me, and it's true. I am afraid. I'm afraid of taking risks and making things worse than they are. And this is the issue. This is why I want to encourage you, always be growing, always be pushing yourself, because as you grow, as you have success, it's easier to take the next step. What happens is if you have some success and then you sit in that and you don't use that momentum to level up, you just bask in that a little too much. The problem is the business is going to start sliding backwards. And now you're in a bad spot. Whenever a business moves backwards, it's harder to take risk because you're more afraid of, well, I don't want to go backwards even further. What if that, and all the what ifs get in your head. Here's the thing. Put your feet, root them in the ground and say, we got to go. We got to go. We got to go now. That's why I go back to the podcast last episode about how do you infuse cash? How do you infuse instant cash into your business? That'd be a good episode to chew on so that you can take some strides forward, right? You're either growing or you're decaying. There is no static. There's no static in business. And so grow. Continue to grow, continue to get better at what you do. If you need help, this is what we're doing in Small Business Flight School. We're helping you, business owners, business leaders, tune up the 6 parts of your business, tune up yourself so that you can continue to grow, so you can continue to lead something that is going to be growing. So if you need help, check us out, smallbizflightschool.com. Apply today. Limited spots, limited seats available. Every month, we only take on a handful of new clients because we are not just about teaching you content. We are about seeing what we teach applied. We are an actionable program. We're not sitting around just giving you content and let's do a little check-in and do a little mindset work. Hogwash. We are going to double your revenue. And so if you're not ready to grow, don't apply. If you're ready to grow, if you're ready to take risk, if you're ready to actually dive into your numbers, to be honest and transparent about what's broken and not working so that we can actually tune you up and get you up in the air, flying higher, farther, and faster. If that's of interest to you, that's what we're doing. So let's take action. Number one, be honest about the 3 truths. Ask yourself which one or which 2 or which 3 are holding us back. Am I too emotional? Am I too attached to this business? And what can I do to start to release some of those claws of emotional attachment and go, it's just a logo. It's just colors. It's just a website. It's just, how do I get out of my own desire and into the mindset of a customer so that I can actually reach the target audience and actually start serving more people instead of just loving my business too much. Number 2, where don't we like change? Where do we want to be comfortable? Where are we uncomfortable with uncomfortability? Is that a word? There it is. Where are we too comfortable? Number 3, where are we afraid of change? What are we fearful of? What are we fearful of in our business? Remember, you're not alone, right? You want to be an eagle. You want to soar high. You want to soar far. Do not be a crow. Crows squawk. Don't squawk about where you want to be. Let's get off the ground. Let's soar higher, farther, and faster. Come soar with us. Come be an eagle. Again, check out smallbizflightschool.com. Tune in next week as we continue to give you insights about how to grow your business, how to get out of the weeds, off the runway, and soaring higher than ever before. My name's Seth Winterhalter. This is the HaltingWinter Podcast. Until next time.